YouTube? Welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be going over my 3 biggest tips to maximize your steroid cycle. And apparently you guys are saying that you don't like my phenomenal personality, so if you want to know what is in my shaker cup, skip to this time. If you want to see the most banger workout edit that's going to get you hyped the fuck up for the gym, skip to this time. And if you want to see the 3 biggest tips on how to maximize your results, skip to this time. Other than that, sit back, relax, let's roll the intro. $30,000 to almost $50,000 now, all the way to a fucking million. I'm never gonna change, and I fucking promise you that. Now you can't start anything without your proper cocaine of the gym, which other people like to call it pre-workout. I fucking love pre-workout, but I've only been taking pre-workout on leg and back days. I've kind of been reducing the caffeine intake, as caffeine does cause me a little bit of acne due to just having body toxicity. But since we're training back today, 1 scoop. 1 scoop of pre-workout down the hatch and in my shaker cup. Now the pre-workout does have citrulline. That one specifically actually has 6 grams of citrulline. I usually aim for 6 grams of citrulline through the workout. I'm going to put an extra 2 grams of citrulline in because I do normally have that on my non-caffeinated days. Citrulline just helps dilate the blood vessels to allow more nutrients, more blood into those fucking pythons that you're working. Next is I do 10 grams of creatine monohydrate every single day. And yes, you do have to take creatine even on your off days, guys. Creatine basically creates more phosphorus in your ATP system. So if I were to do this, I'm using phosphorus. If I were to do this, very nice, I'm using even more phosphorus. And if I'm gonna lift weights, I'm using even more. Creatine makes sure that there's more phospho molecules so that you can take to use as energy. So your endurance will be better, your strength will be better, and you can actually go longer, harder with taking creatine. But don't fucking overcomplicate it. Creatine now is not bad. It used to be bad before it was like micronized and like the actual powder was thicker. It was harder for your kidneys to process. But it's fucking 2020, guys. Creatine is safe, and it's not gonna make a crazy difference, but it can give you that edge. Moving on, I like to take branched chain amino acids or essential amino acids. I kind of flip between the two. I try to aim for 4 grams of leucine during every workout. So leucine is the most anabolic branched chain amino acid out of isoleucine and valine. So I like to do that. I also like this brand because they put a complex B vitamin in it. Complex B vitamins can increase your natural energy, as well as they shovel more oxygen in so you can get better pumps and kind of just more muscular endurance. Last but not least, holy fuck, all the powder, Jesus Christ. Coronavirus.
It comes from China.
Is glutamine. Glutamine has kind of a long history of being like the mecca of repairing, but to be honest, it actually just strengthens your immune system. And you probably aren't going to take a word I'm saying because I was literally coughing. I promise it was from the powder. But 20 grams of glutamine every single day. It helps strengthen the immune system. You won't get sick as much, and it helps you digest and absorb nutrients better, which in essence enhances the amount of nutrients that you get, which means better gym recovery. That's exactly what I got in my shaker every single 5 days a week right now is what I'm training. So we are gonna head off to the gym. We're actually gonna get Martin his little like sliders. I don't know if you guys watched the last video, but I got him like these sliders because he has Walmart super old ripped raggedy sliders. So he's using his camera to film. I'm gonna take this camera so I can kind of like give it to him on camera. And let's go fucking train. Alright guys, so we just got to the gym. We got the man. He got a new setup. He's got the camera.
We got the cage. We got the camera.
Martin, we got you a gift.
What?
Yeah, bud. We're the Walmart version of all the popular people.
Oh,
I don't know if you'll like. I don't know if you're gonna like the color. They came in blue too, but I have the receipt, so you can just go exchange them. Aww. Turns out they were slightly too small, but he can go to the store and exchange it. I'm hoping that they'll have his size because they were really hard to get. But anyways, he's gonna shoot a dope fucking workout edit. So make sure to go show him some love. Here's his Instagram, and let's get right into it. I hope you loved that workout edit. Feeling good, feeling healthy. I'm about 3 weeks into the TRT dose now. I haven't really lost any fullness. My diet has been slacking a little bit, but we need to get back on track because we need to make 198. So I know I just had a lot of fun. But let's get right into this. So I kind of broke this down into 3 tips. For a lot of you guys, this is going to seem like common sense. But a lot of the time, common practice is not common sense. And like I said, this channel is just to get you thinking about other possibilities. I always say that this channel is not a drug channel, and I'm gonna elaborate a little bit more on why. So this channel is purely from the standpoint of I'm telling you guys my past experiences and what I did to get the best results. Now you guys know I've competed in nationals in bodybuilding at 20 years old. I am a world record holder in natural powerlifting when I was 18. Last year I got ranked 8th in the entire world at 198. Now, a lot of the things that I do scientifically may not be properly correct. And even though that I do know a lot about this stuff, I don't feel that I'm educated enough to give you guys advice, even though you're like not allowed to do that on YouTube. Like More Plates, More Dates, Derek is probably the most educated person I have ever seen in my entire life. And I will never be able to reference that many studies in that proper terminology than he will. So that's why I just always want to say that this is just what I've done. And this is what has worked for me over the last 3 to 4 years. Does it have to be right? No. Could it have been done better? Probably. But this whole thing is just to get your mind thinking in a more third person type of way. In a way that you can step back and say, okay, am I doing the best thing for my body type? Because at the end of the day, science is one thing and your body type is completely different. I actually wrote stuff down today. The first tip that I have to maximize your results while taking steroids is up your training frequency. A lot of people start going on steroids and then they train the exact same. They don't push the weight up in the gym. They don't increase their frequency. Again, steroids is not something that you just take and you get big. Steroids is you take it, it recovers your muscles faster so you can train more frequently. So when you go on cycle, you really need to be picking lacking body parts and basically space those out accordingly so you can train them more frequently throughout the week. Your body will be able to recover at superhuman speeds, so you need to be able to take advantage of that. And with that said, I have made a free training plan on www.themarkplummer.com. It's just going to be labeled training plan, and you guys can get it. All you have to do is go on the website, add it to your cart, check it out. It's completely free, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Again, it's not like crazy in depth, it's not crazy custom to you, but it will give you the idea of how much volume you should be putting into your workouts when you're taking anabolic steroids. Now, with that said, if you increase your volume, what else do you have to increase? Your calories and or your protein, depending on if you're cutting or bulking. Which brings us into the second point. Now, when you take anabolic steroids, your protein synthesis goes up, your base metabolic rate goes up, your digestion improves, your body is performing like a superhuman. So when you can train more frequently and break down more muscle tissue, you need more protein to heal that muscle tissue. So a lot of people go on steroids and then they completely, if you're eating 200 grams of protein and you go on steroids, you should be eating, from a science standpoint, at least 20, maybe 25% more protein than you were before to maximize that result. Now, with that said, some people are gonna blow up like water balloons if you're taking something like D-bol or even testosterone that could hold a little bit of water. But what we know from science is that your body can only hold a certain amount of water per a certain amount of carbohydrate that you eat in the day. So if your goal is to get leaner, what I would do personally is I would cut your carbohydrates by about 30%, replace those calories in protein and fat just to make sure that you don't blow up like a water balloon, and then you can slowly increase your carbs back to where they were, or you can just keep going down if you were in a cut. Just one more touch on the diet side of things is that because your protein synthesis will be higher, you will allow for more nutrients to have uptake into your muscle cells. Therefore, you can have bigger carb meals pre and post workout. Because as we know, you're gonna eat a big carb meal right before you train. It's gonna spike insulin. It's gonna help push nutrients into your muscles to help them recover, help them grow, help feed them, help get a nasty pump. And whatever doesn't get pushed into the muscles stores as glycogen, which ends up just turning to fat if it's not used as energy. But when you're on steroids, as long as you're not training like in the middle of the night and going to bed, it will most likely always be used as energy throughout the day. So you can be a little more aggressive with the carbs pre and post workout. But again, that's gonna come down to like fine tuning, what type of body type you have, what type of training you're doing, and so on. Which kind of brings us into the third point, which is proper planning. I get a lot of questions of people saying that they've been on steroids for 7 weeks and then they're gonna change all the compounds at 7 weeks to like shock their body. You have to look at steroids as like a marathon. You're gonna come up and then you're gonna come off and go a little bit down, and then you're gonna do another cycle and come up and then come a little bit down, and then you're just gonna keep going until your genetics won't physically allow you to go any farther, or you're making like very, very small up, and then, you know what I mean? So you need to properly plan these cycles based off of a desired goal. A lot of people just go on steroids and then they're like, I'm gonna train like this. Like, no, you have to look at your whole year in sections. You can't strength train for an entire year. You can't bodybuild for an entire year. You need to have off times to make sure you have longevity. Look at Dexter Jackson, for example. Dexter Jackson, 8 weeks after the Olympia, would train maybe once, twice a week to give his body some time to relax. And that's probably why he's competing at 52, 53 years old, is because he's taken this proper time. When you're doing a steroid cycle, you need to be like, okay, 12 weeks, I'm gonna dedicate this time to being strong, like when I do for powerlifting. Or 12 to 16 weeks, I'm gonna dedicate this to getting as big and shredded as possible, and then you can plan your drugs accordingly. Like, I've had people come and be like, hey, Mark, so I'm going to do test for 4 weeks, and then at the 4-week mark, I'm going to add in Anadrol for 4 weeks, and then come off Anadrol, and then do test for another 6 weeks, and then I'm going to done my cycle. And I asked this person, I said, why are you running Anadrol in the middle of your cycle? Like, what's the purpose? And he's like, I don't know, my friend told me to. That should never be your answer. If you are doing a strength phase, you would do 12 weeks of testosterone and then put anadrol at the last 4 weeks, because your last 4 weeks is where you're going to increase your percentages and have to lift the most amount of weight. That's what I mean when it comes down to planning. I hope that makes sense. And that's really it. I mean, it's 3 super simple things that is going to completely change your results for steroid cycles. If you can get your training frequency perfect, manipulate your diet in the way that you're going to be absorbing more food, not blowing up over like 13% body fat, because everyone knows, like, when you get over about 15% body fat, your insulin sensitivity just plummets. So you can't go on steroids and then get to 20% body fat, because then you're not going to be putting on the amount of strength or muscle that you want. And that's also coming that when you are a bigger person, maybe taking steroids isn't the best bet until you get your body fat down to that 12 to 15% range, so you can actually maximize that cycle. Like I said, guys, this is just to get your mind thinking. And this is kind of what I found to work during my short 4-year career so far, that I hope that I can go another 10, 12, 15 years in the sport. So I hope this helps. I hope this helps. 3 easy things that you can do really just to get that ball moving, and I hope it works for you. Like I said, free training plan on the markplummer.com, as well as all my merch, all my custom training plans, and all my in-person coaching. I currently have 25 clients. I'm not going to be taking any more until January 9th, but you can reserve your spot, and I do have a waiting list. So I hope you guys enjoy the videos, and I'll see you guys very soon.